Alright, so for today, I'll try to demonstrate on how to perform frequency distribution using Excel. In particular, will also include demonstration on how to do a histogram using the same software, which is Excel. So for today, we'll deal with this particular data set. So DEP10 means depressive tendencies. So data was collected from about 82 participants. So we'll try to do a frequency distribution using this particular data set. Okay. So first, we have to go to data and then click on data analysis, and then let's first choose descriptive statistics. So let's just erase this. I used this a while ago, so let's erase that first. So let's encode our input range. Basically, that's where your data is located. So I'm highlighting these cells as the input range, and then click on label in first row, because our first row is a label. Then for the output range, click on this box and then just choose a cell where you want the output to be. So I'm choosing this particular cell and click on summary statistics, click OK. So this is the result of our descriptive statistics, but for the purpose of doing what's this, frequency distribution, let me highlight the things that we'll be needing, particularly the range, the minimum, and the maximum. So I'll highlight that first so that you can see it better. And then we need two more information. One is number of intervals, and then the other one is interval width. Okay. So basically, the number of intervals refers to the number of groupings of all the scores. You can see here that the minimum is 30, the maximum is 96. So considering those scores, how many groupings do you want for your frequency distribution? Now, you may choose whatever number you like, but I'm thinking that 10 would be a good number, so I'm choosing 10. And then, so we have 10 intervals. Per interval, the next question will be how wide will be each interval. So there's a simple formula. So you basically get your range, then divide it by the number of intervals, which is this one, then click OK. So this is 6.6, so maybe we can round that off to 7. So 7 will be my interval width. Next, type in lower limit, and then for another column, the upper limit. So basically, in here, I would like to determine what is the lower limit and upper limits for each of the intervals. So there are some considerations about the first interval, and that would be number one, it should include the lowest score, which is 30, and preferably we begin with a number that is divisible by our interval width, which we rounded off to 7. So think of a number that is lower than 30 and at the same time divisible by 7, and that would be 28. Because 28 is lower than 30, and at the same time it is divisible by 7. And then for the upper limit, so we count upwards. So that would be 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So those are 7 numbers. So to do that, just type in the equal sign, then highlight this cell, plus 6. So if your interval width is 7, just add 6. If your interval width is 10, just add 9. So just one less. And click OK. So there you have it. So our first interval is from 28 to 34. And then the next lower limit would be the number after 34, which is 35. Okay. And then you can basically do that for the rest of the cells below. So we already have here 2. So we need 8 more probably. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see here now that 91 is the last one for the lower limit. So I suppose that within this last interval, that the last interval would include the highest value, which is 96. Okay. And then for this one, just drag it down as well. So there you have it. So these are your intervals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as what we have suggested in our number of intervals. So now we are ready to do our frequency distribution and our histogram. So just click on data again. Click on data analysis. Click on histogram. Click OK. Then for the input range, so let's highlight that. Now the bin range, I'll erase it for the meantime. The bin range would be your upper limits. So that would be your bin range. So we clicked on labels again because our first rows are labels. And then for the output range, let's say we'd like our output to be somewhere here. Okay. And then click on chart output so that we can see the histogram. Click OK. Alright, so there is our bin, and here is our frequency. Okay. Now first, let's deal with this table first. So maybe you can change this into intervals. Okay, intervals. And then let's make this complete. So instead of 34, let's write in 28 to 34. Like that. And then do for the rest. So this one is from 35 to 41, and then this one is from 42 to 48, 49 to 55. So I'm just basically getting the lower limit and putting it here. 56 to 62, 63 to 69, 70 to 76, 77 to 83, 84 to 90, and 91 to 97. And then for these cells, you can just delete that. We don't need that. So here are the frequencies. So this means that those who scored somewhere between 29 to 34, there are 4 of them. There are 7 who scored somewhere between 35 to 41. There are 8 who scored somewhere between 42 and 48 in terms of depressive tendencies, and so on and so forth. Now, you might want to complete this particular table by including some other information. For example, relative. Let's just write F. That's relative frequency, and then cumulative frequency, and then cumulative percentage. So these might be some stuff that you'd like to include. For relative frequency, there's a simple formula. Just type in equals, and then this cell 4 divided by the number of scores. We have 82 scores, so divided by 82. Click that, and then drag it downwards. So these are your relative frequency values. Okay. For the cumulative frequency, for the first cell, we just type in, we just copy this cell basically, and then for the next cell, the formula would be the cell above plus this cell. Click OK, and then drag it down, and there is your cumulative frequency. Alright, so, and as for cumulative percentage, the formula would be, just click on this cell, in a parenthesis, click on this cell, divide it by the number of scores, 82, and multiply it by 100, and that is your cumulative percentage. Then drag it down. So these, I'm not sure if you would include this in your report, but some textbooks suggest that these might be some useful information. So there you have it, our open table. Okay. Now, let's take a look at our histogram. So basically, this is a representation of our intervals and the frequencies per interval. So maybe we can just make it a bit larger so that you can see. Okay. Now, how do we improve this particular presentation? Maybe you can just you can remove this already, and then click on the one of the bars, and then let's make it look more like a histogram. Go to design, and then in chart layout, choose this one, layout 8. Okay, and then format data series. And then for the border color, let's choose a solid line, something dark, such as a dark gray. Alright, so our histogram now looks a bit better. You might want to enlarge it more there. And then maybe you can change this. Maybe we can replace it with depressive tendencies, and then this one maybe you can replace it with the term scores. So this is already a good histogram presentation of our data. So as you can see, the distribution is a bit normal. You see this swelling right in the middle. So that's one way of presenting. Another way would be, this is already okay. If you'd like a different style, click on one of the bars again, then go to layout, then click on data labels, and then click on outside in, so that the frequencies will appear on top of each of the bars representing the frequencies per interval. And then this scale, you can delete that. And that is another way of presenting your histogram. Alright, so I hope that this tutorial has been useful, and hopefully you can use this in your presentations, in your research work in the future.